Hey, what's up, guys? So today we're gonna look at some news that basically came out today, which I find quite interesting, and I think it might be worthwhile to take a look at. But before we go into that, I would basically just want to check quickly on what the market is doing. I mean, we saw that yesterday night, and Bitcoin and Ethereum Ethereum skyrocketed almost 10%, and that was really, I mean, it was kind of obvious to see how it would play out. It was a long thing in the making that Ethereum would break out, and I think Bitcoin will actually follow the same path. Specifically, according now with the news that we got out in the last few days. But besides that, I think we have another key players. I mean, Chainlink was also pumping again, even though it lost around 8%. It got back around 6%. But the top winners is, of course, Kusama, which I do hold some coins. I will also provide a video at some point where I basically got into a very interesting project that would facilitate to run node validators on the Kusama network, which I will try to fiddle with it, see if it works out. Let's see if it's actually profitable. And even if not, I will show you the video because I think it's quite interesting, and it might be helpful actually for some of you guys out there. And then we have some other key players around: Uma, Maker, Gigabyte also coming strong again. And on the losing side, we have Ampleforth, which was kind of clear to see after they were rising. They rose, I think, like 200% or some stuff. I don't know exactly. Of course, there's a small pullback for that, and synthetic tokens also is a little bit of a small pullback, but that's okay. I guess we can live with it. The only one that I'm kind of looking at here that is really of high interest to me is Band Protocol, but that's like a small pullback, just 2.7% from what it raised before. Now, Band Protocol for me is kind of interesting. I mean, they almost have like 2/3 of the value of Chainlink, and that's a little bit concerning to me. But then again, I guess people are buying in the FOMO, and it's a good protocol for sure. I don't doubt that. But it seems to me a little bit overvalued. But you can comment down below to tell me what you think about that, guys. So let's jump right into the first news, which basically is that Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak sues YouTube over Bitcoin giveaway scams. Now, these scams, of course, were around for a long period, but they really intensified for the last, 3 months or 4. I mean, they've been everywhere. It's almost not possible to stop that. And of course, there were many lawsuits coming in, even from Ripple and many other crypto guys. And I can kind of understand it. It's really a bummer, and it's like dragging the whole space into dirt. Which not every project, of course, has bad intentions, but there are scams out there. There are people conflating the good projects with the bad ones. And we are trying to actually sort that out. We want to have a healthy space. We want to grow and and provide really some benefits for the society and community. But it's really making it hard at this point when we have so much giveaway scams. And for some reason, I don't know why, it seems to be very hard for YouTube and even Google to kind of contain this, which I don't quite understand why, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys, for sure I do always report those scams as soon as I see them, and I'm pretty sure you guys do too, because every time I basically click on one of those giveaway scams, I basically just scroll super fast to the comment section, and then there I see like the majority, besides of the bot comments, they're all saying it's a scam and it's reported and so on and so on. And for some reason they always pop up again and everything starts from the beginning. Let's go to the other part of the news, where Bitcoin prices, the price of course went up from the $9,000 to the $9,500. And of course we have the Fed bringing up a new stimulus package, and even the European Central Bank. And this of course will probably be a good sentiment to invest in crypto, as also in other equities. I mean, that's clear. We can actually even see it here. Cointelegraph reported that the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has given permission to allow federally chartered US banks to provide clients with crypto custody services. So this was the news actually, that that banks should actually provide the same crypto custody services as Coinbase does, or Gemini, which actually makes kind of sense, because if they're already, I mean, I don't have any doubts that at some point even the banks will actually, they need to enter the crypto space. There's no other way around it. Otherwise they'll be lost forever. This is a one-way train, and whoever can jump in and enjoy the ride. Otherwise you're gone. And I think for the banks it's going to be exactly the same, and therefore I think it's kind of okay for them to do that. But let's be honest, I don't really think they're actually willing to do it, because they're just gonna, I'm assuming that, especially with DeFi, a lot of the customers that in the beginning, I mean, this is probably like a generational issue, right? So the older generation might actually enjoy those services through their known banks and those static entities that have been around for ages in the financial sectors. But I guess the new generation, of course, they're not gonna be super interested in this, because the way the young generation basically wants to be involved in crypto is through these new companies, these new startups, these new ICOs that actually come up with these solutions that are way more DeFi driven, and which basically just shows how much assets are allocated now in DeFi. And I can totally understand why. I mean, for some reason, why should you trust banks that were basically scamming you for so many years, and now all of a sudden, now that crypto comes up and it's relevant, yeah, we should actually still believe in them, or trust in them. That's the whole reason why we actually got the creation of blockchains, right? To have a trustless system for payment. But yeah, I guess that's kind of the statue here. I guess they're still gonna enter the services, and will still be able to provide it. Let's see how that comes. We also see on the next part that the crypto investors will eventually be able to hold their digital assets in the same bank where they keep their checking, savings, and brokerage accounts. Yeah, which of course, I mean, makes sense. Then again, I'm not quite sure that even these banks will be able to provide such nice services, because let's be honest, I mean, I don't know about all the other banks, but I can talk for some of the banks that I know, that I have, and I mean, their usability in the UI is not really that good. Nothing to compare with, let's say, even with the way like use Compound or Uniswap or anything like that. I mean, it's just miles away. And there's no way, in my point of view, that they can actually click all their old system with the new system to make it interesting for young people. I'm not buying that. The recent announcement from the European Union to kickstart another 857 billion euro round of stimulus, an expectation that the US Federal Reserve will follow suit with a 1 to 2 trillion economic stimulus package, could also be boosting investors' belief that as long as the Fed is printing, equities will rise, and Bitcoin will make soon another round of 10K. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, this is what it comes out, right? I mean, let's be honest. So, I mean, we have actually seen this for a long time. I mean, basically, since we actually knew that this might be become a V-shaped recovery even in the equities market. I mean, a lot of the money is being printed, and a lot of this money is being thrown back to all of these assets. And of course, that's why everything is going up. And especially, I mean, of course, that a lot of the investors and a lot of people are trying to invest in crypto because of its particular attributes of being more deflationary. But then again, I mean, let's be honest, I don't know how the inflation really grew up in the last few months. It didn't really grow up that high, and that's, I think, for a reason that a lot of people actually still believe that the quantitative theory of money is actually still relevant, which is not. Now, for those that don't know what the quantitative theory of money is basically, here I highlighted what it basically is, which states that the general price level of goods and services is directly proportional to the amount of money in circulation or money supply. Now, so let's assume that you have X amount of goods and X amount of money. So of course, if the money supply grows up, then according to this theory, also the price of the goods should go up. Now, this is not what we've been saying, to be honest, and there are many reasons for that, but that will take like another video to basically sum up and really go into details why that is. I just want to highlight on this next thing. Critics of the theory argue that the money velocity is not stable and the short-run prices are sticky, so the direct relationship between money supply and the price level do not hold. This is exactly what we've been saying, basically seeing. In mainstream economic theory, changes in money supply play no role in determining the inflation rate. In such models, inflation is determined by the monetary police reaction function. And yeah, that's basically one of those things that I wanted to highlight. I mean, we even see here on the central bank balance sheets that, I mean, just over the last 3-4 months, I mean, it's just been going up and up and up. And this is probably one of the issues why the quantity theory of money is not true at all, because what happens if you have so many goods that are actually being produced, like, let's say, I mean, we're in a global market, right? So some products are produced in China, in Japan, in Europe, and in US, and then basically they're all trading with each other and selling this stuff. Now, if all of the banks are playing the same game and printing money like crazy, you're never going to see the change actually be reflected in the goods. And this is probably the reason why the inflation is actually not really going up now. It is going up, like if you take a look in the long run, that's true, but not as fast as we are printing actually the money. And but still, it's very good to keep an eye on this, and we might see the difference in the inflation at some point when we're going to see that certain goods that come from a certain country might get really more expensive because their inflation is going over proportionally higher or lower to one of the currencies of the US dollars or the euro and so on. But till then, I guess we're not going to see that. And yeah, that's basically it. And let me know if you guys are really interested in me delving in more into the quantitative theory of money and how we can actually see where, if we can have some indicators at what point I can actually see the inflation go higher for the US dollar. So we can, I think that's going to be the precise moment where you want to be ready to, I mean, invest in Bitcoin anyways, but like I said, no, I'm a financial advisor. I can only tell what I think. And yeah, only time will tell where this will go out, but I'm pretty convinced that we are on a good side here. And yeah, I think we can keep rallying strong, and we will go further with this new bull run. All right, guys, that's it. I will bring you a new video coming up of one of the special altcoins, introducing a combination between Kusama and a cloud platform, which I think will be very helpful for you guys. Let me know down in the comments if you're really interested in that. If you like this content, just subscribe, hit that bell, and yeah, see you next time. Cheers.